Most of the time, when you take several heavy elements from different games and combine them into one, you get a pretty good game out of it. For example, if you mixed Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, and a little bit of Chrono Trigger, you'd get one of my favorite games ever, Parasite Eve. But what would happen if you mixed the older Tomb Raider games with Duke Nukem Time to Kill and the little pinch of Bubsy 3D? You're gonna get the disaster known as Danger Girl for the PS1. The fact that this game borrows so heavily from Duke Nukem Time to Kill and even Duke Nukem Land of the Babes is because they all run on the same engine, Danger Girl's just being heavily modified. The reason for this is that they're all developed by the same company, N-Space. N-Space is also responsible for a flurry of Call of Duty and 007 titles for the DS, Winx joined the club, which is possibly the worst PSP game ever created, and of course, Time to Kill and Land of the Babes. With all that out of the way, you might be asking yourself, what the hell is Danger Girl? The following content does contain a lot of spoilers for the comic, so proceed with caution. Danger Girl is a 7-issue comic book created by J. Scott Campbell and Andy Hartnell. It follows the story of 3 spies, Abby Chase, Sidney Savage, and Natalia Castle, who fight the Hammer Empire, also known as the Fourth Reich. They're led by a former MI6 agent by the name of Deuce. Along the way, other characters like Donovan Conrad, Major Maxim, Agent Zero, Assassin X, and Johnny Barracuda enter the fold. To be honest, these comic books are pretty good. They do feature a large amount of fan service, sure, but beneath all that is competent storytelling and cool characters. Since I like the comic book so much, I thought this game was gonna be awesome. Well, I was dead fucking wrong. There's not much else to say, so let's just grab this game by the tits before it smacks us in the fucking face. The game starts out with Major Maxim and Natalia uncovering a temple that some weird otherworldly shit happened in a couple centuries ago. After that, we meet up with Abby, who's being ordered by Deuce to infiltrate Donovan Conrad's house because he's got some weapons. Of course, it wouldn't be Danger Girl without some skin here and there. Also, Abby doesn't wear a bra. The translation from 2D to 3D works sometimes, but other times it looks flat out horrible. However, that's easily the least of our problems. When you get into the game, you'll think it's a third-person shooter. But no, that's a facade. This is a fighting game because you're going to be fighting these fucking controls for the entire game. At the beginning of the video, you might have been thinking, how does this have anything to do with Bubsy 3D? Well, this game thought that the clunky-ass, broken, unfinished, sense of direction lost as Jimmy Hoffa controls in that game were good, so they used them here. Abby moves like a fucking tank. Admittedly, she's not as bad as Bubsy because she can move in a curved line, but this game requires fast-paced moving around, which is just impossible with this control scheme. To put this into perspective, you can move in a curved line when you're running, but not when you're standing. It's just a pain in the ass and you have to change your direction entirely before even attempting to move. This will kill you a lot. In short, it feels very stiff. Again, how sickly ironic that a game like Danger Girl has stiff controls. That seems to be becoming a trend with games like these, the first being Dead or Alive Paradise. However, the control here is stiffer than adamantium reinforced nipples in the cold. Again, like with Bubsy 3D, you really have to play the game to understand what I'm talking about. While that's easily the biggest problem with the game, there are several other fuck-ups, including both gunfire modes. One being the auto-aim, which only works whenever the fuck it feels like it. Look at this, I'm shooting these guys point blank and nothing's happening. The other fire mode is crosshairs. Sometimes it randomly moves when you're firing, but that's not what really makes this annoying. What makes it annoying is the fact that it's slower than the elevator in Daikatana. In regular mode, it's too slow, but in speed mode, it's just too goddamn fast, and you're often missing your targets or zooming right past them as they plug you with bullets. Now that's a lot of problems, but there's even more. There always seems to be something in your way when you're shooting. What the fuck could possibly be blocking me here? Fine, let me move a little and try again. I still can't shoot him and there's clearly nothing blocking me? Fuck! Another thing I found very weird is how high Abby jumps. She can almost jump over a fucking car. And before you say that this car isn't up to scale, it fit about 7 mercenaries inside, so it's obviously big. Finally, I was playing the game and I was thinking to myself, there's no way this could get any worse. There's no other game mechanic that can be added to this game that can make this experience less enjoyable. But there was one thing. The only thing that can make this worse. You want to know what it is? 3 words. Quick time events! I fucking hate quick time events. They are the laziest game mechanics I have ever fucking seen. I didn't even like them in Resident Evil 4. You know, I really wanted to like this game, and there are some things I do like. The voice acting is pretty good for the most part because the voices are very fitting for all the characters. The in-game graphics along with the character models are also fine. But the controls are so fucking bad that they render this game nearly unplayable. I can't even recommend this game to hardcore Danger Girl fans because it sucks so much ass. Danger Girl for the PlayStation 1 gets a bullshit. Here's an upcoming preview for my next video, games I fucking love, Parasite Eve.